All right, I'm at the second electric only lake that I'll be fishing here in Pennsylvania. This one's over 1,000 acres, and I actually got some pretty good advice in visiting a bunch of different tackle shops and marinas. It's good to kind of pick their brain, looking at that list, that spreadsheet that I had of all the electric only lake. This is one that just, you know, a couple people mentioned under hushed tones. So taking a break from my sales visits, and I'm gonna fish this. We'll see how it does. So just gonna start out with a Z-Man grass kickers with the chin locks. Just kind of strain water. I know I've seen a bunch of surface activity here by the ramp. It's a good amount of grass along the edges. Gotta be some good fish in there. This is a fairly shallow lake. I think they said the maximum depth is like 9 feet. So for being this big, you know, up on the mountain, fairly high elevation, it's in a somewhat flat area compared to the rest of, you know, this region. So I just cruise along. I know at this speed, you know, I'm going a mile an hour, and nope, I take it back. I'm going 1.8 mile per hour using 13 watts, and I got so much range it doesn't even register. There, I'll bump it up to 52 watts, and I got 39, 40 miles of range. I'm gonna do a lot of, you know, just cruising and standing up and chucking the swim bait just to strain water until I find this creek channel. But more range than I would need in a couple days fishing this place. I don't know who did the lake description on this, but they said the maximum depth was 9 feet. I just crossed over a creek channel that's 13 feet. I'm kind of hovering over it now, and we got some good marks there. I dropped a waypoint on it here, and what I'm going to do is just head out over this big expansive area and just zigzag back and forth across it, and drop waypoint, until, because it's such a, you know, there is no I have no bathymetric map, I have no contour lines, I have nothing to, you know, to really tell me where the creek channel is until I build that in my chart. So I'm gonna go ahead and build that. I've drifted over, now I'm back up into 9 feet, so the creek channel's back there. I'll loop around, make all my waypoints. There's that channel again. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it, and you can see I got the connection there, and I draw a line in between. That's where I can fish. Now, that wasn't as pronounced as up there. That's really the deepest. This one got to like almost 10. No. It was almost 10. Up there it was like 13. Is this a bass or not? Nope. Big old chain pickerel. Alright, nice looking chain pickerel. Slimy sucker. We'll see what else we get in here. I was just trolling from one spot to the next, and just thought I'd drag the jackhammer back there, and this guy latched on. It's a nice bass. Alright, got my underwater camera going. We're still in the thick, shallow vegetation let's take a look at what it looks like as we cross over from the creek channel into that deeper stuff. I'm coming up on it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on and we'll take a look below. I've got my waypoint there, still shallow, 2.5 feet, and then it'll start to drop off abruptly. That's what we're looking for. The edges of that. And this whole area is mostly like 3 feet or less. Alright. We're starting to come up into the shallow stuff. And we'll go ahead and stick the camera down there and see that channel edge. Got a little bit right there. I think as soon as I bring the jackhammer through there, they blast it in that, on that edge, in that water that's just starting to drop off. I think they sit down in there and look up, and when food comes across, to get it. All right, I turned around and I saw some minnows jumping around behind me. I gotta see if I can reach back behind me. If I can reach him. He just, honestly, this has the feeling, this is a whole lot like the fishing for redfish down in Louisiana, where it's marshy, it's shallow, and you're looking for any kind of motion. There was more than one fish in there to tell you that, hey, there's something over there feeding. And that one just gave himself up. You know, this is an opening to the back cove behind me, which I don't know how shallow I'm gonna find it in there. It's gonna be interesting. I'll probably pull the motor up and use the stand-up paddleboard paddle and just move in there real slow. Just because I know that the motor's silent and it shouldn't be spooking any fish, but I think I just want to move slow, and the paddle does a really great job with that. Ooh, spooked one there. That is a frog inside that pickerel. See ya. So I switched from the zinker to the palmetto bugs because everything that was hitting was up on the surface, and yeah, I kept dropping the zinker down in those holes and it wasn't doing anything. But a wide body bait like that, I think matches the, you know, how a frog will move. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what this looks like coming through the grass. And really, it's you know, it's frog fishing slow with a Laztec, and I know that they have the frogs, but I kind of like that. All right, I will try not to wobble the boat too much. I'm gonna tuck that hook in before we toss it in over that. There we go. We got that guy tucked in there just so. Let's see what's out here in front of us. that didn't take too long. It was sort of, you know, good placement, but there's a lot of these fish down in that grass, and I think they're just so keyed in on these. God, I hooked him good. So keyed in on these frogs that any movement that they see, they're on it. So we'll get him back in, get rid of all this grass, and that couldn't have gone any better. But it's a reliable bite at the back of the this cove here. So let's try it again. Up another 30 feet or so. We got him. I'm spooking him right in front of me. Once I'm in position, I'm going to show you a neat trick that I have with 2 Yak Attack products to help me hold position. I have the wind is pushing me in, and even in this thick grass, it's really pushing me away from the spots that I want to be in. Quick before the wind really picks up, this is a Yak Attack parking pole. You can actually pole with that end, and then the other end is pointy, and I'm just jamming that down in a bazooka tube there, and that attached to the gear track, which we have right there, makes for a nice way to really hold position. You got a nice foam grip, you can jam it in pretty good. So I'm not going anywhere. You're not who I'm looking for, but maybe you're in there with a big bass, maybe. Aztec does really good, but the last one grabbed the tail of it, and I yanked, and it's still attached but barely. Me yanking on it full power, full hook set, and it's still holding up. Yeah, yanking on it at full power of my hook set inside of decent sized pickerel's teeth, and it's still holding together. It's good stuff. It's definitely not the weak link in this operation. That's a bass. Nice one. You again. I've seen you 15 times today. All right, so I've easily caught 30 fish off of the single palmetto bugs, and the tip of it got chewed up, and I just cut it off. I used a NRS pilot knife, just chopped it, and then I have, you know, fresh plastic. You can sort of see where it was splitting there, but I chopped off the part where it was not holding it real well, and get a little bit more life out of it. 30 fish and counting. Alright, there's 31. Alright, we're leaving the Froggy Cove and heading back out into the main part of the lake, looking for that the creek channel again. I think we got a lot of fish back there. It was fun. Ooh, that was a blow up. It was fun catching numbers and got a couple decent bass in there, but I think our better chance at a really nice bass is out here in the main lake. There's still a good chunk of the lake I have not explored yet, so we're gonna keep moving. But that was a fun cove for sure. Oh, creek channel. That was the big for the day. Gone. Oh, that hurt. That was a big fish. Well, that just means I'm doing the right thing. I gotta keep doing it. Well, again on the creek channel, but that's a pickerel. That's a bass. I'm in a good spot. Getting them on the jackhammer. All right, I've drifted back to the far end of the lake, and really where I got a bunch of bites were on that creek channel in between that point and this little peninsula that sticks out. So anywhere you have a pinch point and the creek channel coming around, it's just always a real active spot. Got into this real hard edge, the grass, and a lot of open water to the left and this thick stuff you see right in front of us. And that one popped it. So in this upper end, caught a bunch of chain pickerel, a couple decent bass. I just don't have faith in it because I think that we're about 3 weeks past when these fish have spawned, and our temperatures back in this area are actually the warmest. We have 77.4. Main Lake had 73, 74. You know, I think they spawn earlier than middle to end of June here. So we're gonna keep moving back out. Real pretty looking part of the lake. Let's leave it behind, go find some more fish. Gotta hit those creek channel edges on the way out. You know, there's a lot of vegetation that you got to dodge, but when you get into open water and you see an edge, man, you gotta hit it. So it's getting later in the afternoon, and what I wanted to show on the map. I've only seen half the lake. I only kind of went in one direction and started fishing, but what I have here, should I ever come back, is I'm actually going to zoom out of there, or zoom in there, but all of these are creek channel markings, and to be able to come back to this series of you know, creek channel markings throughout the whole thing is kind of cool. You know, if that's, you know, a pattern, certainly winter, certainly summer. Spring, yeah, they move shallow, but fall, I think they can be anywhere during a turnover. But you know, the times of the year where they want the one thing that's different out here than shallow, because everything's shallow. You find that one area that's 8, 10, 12, 14 feet deep, find those edges, there's fish on it. So when I come back here, I've already done the work. You know, I've already mapped it out. I just go right to those waypoints and just start jackhammering them. So I came back out to the main lake, and that channel pattern with the chatterbait just wasn't doing it. So I'm zooming up here, but see if I can find some other shallow area just to get more of that froggy type action. Shallow. Maybe they came shallow because it's late in the day. One of the better pickerel of the day. I didn't think this would be the case, but this was somewhat of a rescue because someone with lighter line left that hook in this guy. This sucker broke him off. They're such cool animals. All right, we'll go ahead and get him back in. Pretty fish. Stinky fish. So I think I'm going to try something a little more subtle. It's the grass kickers, and it's the same trailer that I have on the jackhammer, but I got it on the chin locks. So I'll go ahead and back it off so you can see what that is. So that little piece of lead up there keeps the chin of the bait locked in. I went too far. I use a snell knot, and then I just stick that in the belly, a little belly groove. That may come through this real shallow, grassy type stuff a little bit better. Let me tighten that drag. You know, the chatterbait's doing well, but I spend a little bit more time getting grass off the blade. And you know, if they're on the hunt, which it seems like they're picking up their activity, might as well throw the bait that's a little bit less of a hassle. Yep, that'll work. All right, well, it's been a fun day out here and caught a ton of chain pickerel, a couple nice bass. Really had fun with a shallow bite in the grass with the weightless soft plastics. But the sun's getting low. Time to load up the truck and head to the next state full of electric only waters. Next state on the list is New Jersey. It's nice to zoom back at 6.2, 6.3 miles per hour.